There are odds that you could see this after Halloween, but of course, it's not Halloween yet, but you can get costumes at the Red Barn. And Sarah is not playing the part of the manager, she is. And hello.
Hello.
All right, so this is pretty cool, by the way, thank you.
You're
It's $1.99 and I bought it. Let's talk a little bit about this thrift store.
Okay.
It has a lot of cool stuff. It's very well organized.
Thank you.
Why is that?
Well, we have a team of volunteers that are not only passionate about what they do here, but they're passionate about supporting Hope's Haven. And so they come in on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and they make sure that things are neat, tidy, organized, and ready for our customers.
You're an animal lover.
Yes.
And you're also here to make sure that this community has a place that they can shop, knickknacks, clothing, costumes. Let's talk a little bit about it. I loved your philosophy, so I want to touch on that real quick. I just think you have this beautiful heart, where if there's a kid that needs clothes, it's not a matter of a price tag.
Correct.
If there's something that happens and there's a fire, it's not a price tag. It's come in and get what you need.
Correct.
I love that.
Thank you.
You know, it's an open door. It's this circle that you've created is really cool.
Thank you. Actually, it's a philosophy of Hope's Haven. I mean, obviously, the animals and every penny of sales we drive through here is to support the efforts at Hope's Haven. However, the founders and the board, everybody's about this community. They give to us, we give back in whatever form we need to make sure that the circle continues.
I'm going to take it one step further, and you made mention of this, but I mean, musical instruments come in, where do they go?
Well, we'll try to sell them. We have some customers that love it, but we also have an amazing music program here. So we'll donate them to the school so that they'll have instruments, and then some parents donate back because we did that.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So you have clothes, you have shoes, you have knickknacks, you have games, books, all those things that you could find.
Yes.
You know, bits and pieces for kitchens.
Yes.
I mean, people should come in here. You change inventory a lot.
We change inventory daily. In fact, my hope is that people will view this more like a Macy's type thrift store, where if they have a need before they go anywhere else, they'll come to Red Barn.
They could find it. And maybe it's a costume for Halloween.
Absolutely.
You could be Captain America. You know, a small Captain America. I think this would go for a child. I want a bigger shield. It is very cool what they do. Now, donations come in from all over.
Yes, we in fact got a call just this morning asking if we could help pick up goods as far as Rose Lake, which is up near, Coeur d'Alene. Yeah. So people all around this area in our county and other counties are supporting our efforts here.
Okay, how do they find you?
Every way possible. We're obnoxious. No, actually, Facebook, online, the Red Barn Thrift Store is on Facebook, online through Hope's Haven, and then several of us are also always out into the community reminding people the way that they can support Hope's Haven through the store and outside of the store.
You're on Main Street, right next to the Elks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right here, and it's easy to spot. All right, so anything else you want to share?
I always like to tell customers this. Come in, even if you think you don't need anything. One man challenged me and said, no, you couldn't possibly have what I need. And I said, what is it do you need? He says, do you have a boat anchor? I said, just a moment. I went out into our storage shed and I pulled out and came back with 2. And I said, which kind do you like?
That's pretty cool.
So you don't need to need something to come here. You might just want something. And the last thing is, for anybody listening, we are running out of storage space. And so if anybody has a solution for us in St. Mary's for additional storage, because the overwhelming amount of donations now, we're out of room and we need someone.
And you want to keep rotating that stock around, make sure you got cool stuff.
Yes.
All right, cool people. I mean, you get it, right? Sarah, she gets it. She wants you to get it. They do some amazing stuff. So in order to then spur you on, we're going to go into where the cats are. And we're going to talk to the gal who runs the shelter. And trust me, if after you hear her, you're not giving, I'm not sure what else to do. Now, I'm ready for Halloween. Come down here and you can get ready too. So when we look at Hope's Haven, we know that there's a lot of cats, and we're going to talk to the director and get that number. But we also know they have dogs, not as many dogs as cats. Debbie Martinson joining us. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, you did.
Former Seattle police officer and canine officer, which puts you in that unique position of you've handled dogs in the most extreme cases.
Yeah.
So now you get to do it for fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But now it's not, you're just not working with the dogs here at the shelter. I mean, you're helping people live more successfully with their pups.
Correct. We have an obedience class. Hope's Haven asked me to start a class about 15 years ago for an obedience class, and so we started
You're
it.
not so retired. I want to put that out there now.
No, I'm not so retired. In
Okay,
fact,
go
I'm busier now than I was when I was working.
As everyone says, but you're volunteering, and I thank you. So, what do you do?
So with this obedience class, when I first started it, it was more of a, what I had with canine is like, this is the way things are done, and you sit and you stay. And for normal people, that just didn't work. So I started getting involved with Cesar Millan's program as far as watching his videos and everything.
The dog whisperer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got the opportunity to go down and study with him about a year ago and for 2 weeks. And it really helped a lot. And basically, it's all about energy and about calmness and getting your dog. We don't really work here on making sure that they sit and they stay and things like that. It's a state of mind for them, an energy thing where they come out of the kennel and they come out of the building and they come out of the car relaxed. And what you get what you bring out of an area, a car, is what your dog is going to be outside.
Right.
And so it's just a whole type of thing.
Now, this guy's up for adoption, yeah?
This is a girl.
This is a girl.
This is Xena.
Xena.
She's been here for a year.
Princess Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was found on a Highway 3, abandoned, basically. And she's a sweet, sweet dog. She basically should be the only dog in the house. She kind of has...
she's the alpha dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's not good around cats. There are a lot of
Right.
dogs like that. So,
Yep.
So she should be the only pup, but she's going to give you love and attention. Look at her.
She's just she's a love. And she's very well behaved. And she's a lover. But we also, here, we don't just place our dogs just to place them. They have to go to a good home.
Yeah.
And the people have to match the dog.
And so you spend time with them, you go to the houses, you help people, again, live more successfully with their pets.
With their pets. And I know it's not a surprise to a lot of people, but it's not the dogs that need the work, it's the people.
Here's what I love. You've done a couple of things that really impressed me. First of all, you volunteer and you do it wholeheartedly. Second, you changed years and years of training in yourself in order to better fit animals and owners.
Yeah.
By going and learning new... You're an old dog that learned a new trick.
I did. Well, I dealt with alpha dogs, with the police dogs. They're alpha dogs, and so you have to handle them in a different way. Well, normal pets, you don't have to be the leader and roar. And so you have a different way of dealing with them, and so that's what I've done, yeah. And I love it. I've been very successful with it. I don't know what I would have done without Cesar's work, because these guys they're not like dogs that you get, like our dogs that we have at home. Me personally, my husband.
Right.
We raised them as puppies. We raised them, the way...
Loving, trained, ready to go, but some of these come from bad situations.
Right. They're abused, they're starved, they're beaten, or they're,
ignored.
Right.
Completely.
I had a case where there was a Great Dane, and I loved him. A neighbor called and said, this Dane is really getting, it wasn't a Great Dane, it was a Mastiff, I'm sorry.
Okay. Which is not a small dog.
No, huge.
Yeah.
Well, what had happened is these people had gotten this little puppy and left it home when it got a little bigger, and it broke their flat screen TV, and so they left him out basically for 9 months out in this horrible weather, no house, no nothing. Well, when I first came to this dog, he was on a 3-foot chain, and so I just used Cesar's methods basically, and it took me 4 days, and of like 3-4 hours a day of just sitting there and standing there and then going into his space, and then I didn't touch him until he basically came up to me and said okay.
Yeah.
And after that, we took him in. I'll be honest with you, it was like he was not going to stay there, but I didn't know what we were going to have to do with him.
Right.
So when we brought him, I had worked so well with him in those 4 days that we brought him here. He came to the vet. He was perfect, had all the tests and everything, and he was very well behaved. We adopted them out into a couple in Oregon.
It's amazing what happens when they get positive attention and they get love and respect, and how they can just bloom.
Yeah.
And you see that, and I thank you for that.
Yep.
So we want to adopt, there are 4 dogs available. It changes here at Hope's Haven, the Benewah Humane Society. And so if you're interested in having a dog, you're going to go through her first, and you'll be trained.
Yes.
And then you could go look for a dog. I think it's absolutely wonderful. But now we need to find out more about what's happening behind those doors.